when it was unincorporated and since it's been incorporated. And I have found, pardon me, I was late, so this may say something but it doesn't sound like it, and that is I have found the TxDOT people to call meetings, whatever they're relevant, to invite open. I have called them at least once a year. About 5 or 10 years ago, I spoke with Mr. Nesbitt. He spent about an hour explaining. To let you know, I live the first house off of Bear Creek Road. My property ends in the creek. It is one of 3 sites that in 1995 and 2000 was proposed as widening Bear Creek or going just south of the creek. Now it's a little further south. A lot of it has to do with the price of the property that they're going to have to buy. Now, we didn't get in this economic disaster on foreclosure in the last 15 or 20 years. We got into it in the last 2 to 5 years. Now, the last time I spoke to TxDOT and was discussing timeline, whether to sell my house, I could end up being part of the Cloverleaf or maybe a filling station, who knows. He said, call me back in a few years, keep calling. And because he said, we're in Sunnyvale, we're a long way away. Propositions as to where these things are going to go will change. And today when I spoke to them on the phone, because I'm disabled and I hadn't planned to come, he told me about exchanges that will be made on Cockrell Hill and Bear Creek, interchanges that will have to be enlarged, and one on 67 and River Road. He also, River Ridge Road, I'm not familiar with that. He also, because I was surprised that it included Midland and, not Midland, Midlothian and Cedar Hill. But since the last time I spoke with TxDOT, Cedar Hill and Midlothian boomed and have all these closed communities with gated communities and huge homes because they could buy land cheaper and build lovely homes. And we all love it down here. I wouldn't have been here 35 years. But those houses have come down and all of you are terrified that they're going to come buy up your land while it's depressed. You know, just 5 years ago, we had a real estate boom. And we had all that other stuff, you know, the subprimes and all that. But things are going to come back by the time they get to your land and decide on this and the cities vote. It's going to take a good 10 years.
Thank you.
And your stuff will be valuable with it. And if you want to talk to TxDOT, call everything they have. Maps.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Harold Rudd, and I live in Ellis County, no town. You say Midlothian, it doesn't go through Midlothian. It goes through North Ellis County. I live in Skyline Acres. I've been to approximately 14 of these meetings that I can recall, and this is the largest group of people I have ever seen at one, and I am damn proud. I have heard the stories from HNTB in both the Gateway, the Southern Gateway, Envision Midlothian, and Loop 9. The stories are inconsistent. I have pointed it out, and I've also asked from day one, why are you running over Skyline Acres, the subdivision that's been there for, well, since 1957, and instead leaving all those lonesome cows north of us that could be so easily relocated. The thing that I want to say to all of you is that a few months ago, there was an article in the paper, in the Dallas Morning News, which may or may not lend credibility, but it's still a paper that's getting better, in my opinion. But one of the things that was spoken, the issue that was spoken to, was the fact that, I don't remember if it was RTC or NITCOG or TxDOT, but the plan was that there was no viable alternative to hazardous waste, including nuclear waste, being transported east-west, all the way to West Texas, through the Dallas area, except on I-20. That point in time, it was proposed that Loop 9 would be the viable alternative. Gentlemen, you talk about a toll road. I don't mind a toll road as long as it's in another state. But there's no toll road in North Texas that's making money except George Bush, from what I understand. And the difference on any of those deals, if you try to get out, it's going to be 4 times the remaining balance. It's going to be an additional penalties plus costs plus profits. All you have to do is look at the recent deal that was done on 161 and read all the costs. You would wind up paying 5 or 6 times the money if you get out in less than 40 years. And I think it's actually 52. No toll roads, no Loop 9, and I want to live where I live. And y'all, I'm going back to Ellis County, and the rest of y'all can go to hell.